Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday, everybody. I survived. We did it. Enrollment for this year is finally closed. I still have to get through count day. I work at a school, if that wasn't obvious, but it's a lot of work, okay? Count day is on Wednesday, so yay. Just got a lot of um what's the word I'm looking for? Audit type of stuff I need to do tomorrow, including last minute orientations and stuff, before we get all started for count day. Count day is where state the state demands to know how many students you have actively enrolled, and there are certain things like checklists that need to be checked off for them to be counted. And that's how all schools, get their money. So, very important, very stressful, a lot going on. We have more students than we have had in a long time. I think it's the music. I keep hearing a weird audio. And I think it's because I have the tavern talk audio is still going on in my head. Y'all can't hear it. I can hear it. And I'm hearing other things and it's throwing me off. Anyway, distraction. Tavern talk. We're here for a game. We're not here to hear me talking about my job that I enjoy but has definitely burnt me out a little bit this year. And it's just started. The hard part has been done. It is smooth sailing. Hi, Big. Hi, friend. It's smooth sailing from here. So, we are going back to Tavern Talk. I don't know if I have if I'm close to finishing this game. No clue. Don't know how many acts there are. Usually, like if we're going on play aspects, there are 3 acts. Sometimes 4. So hopefully soon. I very much enjoy this game. Do not get me wrong. I very much like this game. However, I almost forgot to turn off the Spotify audio. Get out of here. I can hear you. Anyway, I need to get off the screen because it makes me look as white as my cardigan. We are on Act 3, the Twilight Flood, day 19. Brain. God, we've gone through 19 days. That's crazy. 27th of the Astral Moon. Trying to remember, because it's been a hot minute since we had to take off last week. Because I was dog sitting. And we're already starting off. We're just gonna pause it there for a minute. It's not going to go anywhere. What did you find about Sonic Racing that you don't like? Besides that there's no storyline, because I have already said my gripes about there being no actual story. Which I'm a fanfic writer, so give me a minute and I'll make one. But anyway, continue, my friend. I have a lot of energy and I don't know why. It's very strange. It's the festivals. I don't like how you have to earn points in online to unlock rewards. It was hard to understand off of Twitter, but I did see that in it is a very short time period. So, I believe that I know the Hatsune Miku one starts on the 3rd. I still haven't even tried online. Maybe after I'm done streaming tonight, I'll try online. I don't know. It scares the crap out of me knowing that so many people have so much under their belt than I do. And I'm gonna fail miserably, and I'm a competitive person. Also, hi Minnie, it's going good. I survived the last day of open enrollment. I played the Joker one in one network test, and I don't even think I finished half. Ooh, okay. Hopefully they've... Okay, so maybe they were testing sizing. No, I work at a high school, Minnie. So we still do open enrollment up until right before count day for the students, which is October 1st in 2 days. So we, yeah. My coworker and I were literally just refreshing the page multiple times to make sure no new ones showed up at the last second, and it was good. We're like, thank God. The day was pretty quiet, thankfully, minus the fact that some people like were out sick, so it was kind of a skeleton crew, but it worked out. Everything was fine. Is that there's gadgets in the festival. Like, I don't get what you mean by gadgets. Aren't there always gadgets? Isn't that how you make yourself do special things like trick stuff? I work at a college and we're in week 2 of our fall term, so things are bustling. Yeah. Yeah, we're actually my work was on a quarterly system. So we're actually at the tail end of our first quarter. So crazy. We're already going to be doing testing starting next week. There's gadgets that you can only unlock in the festivals. Oh, I don't like that. So if you don't have the time or aren't able to get to the level of people who have been doing this a lot longer, it's practically impossible. I don't like that. Oh, that makes me sad. Oh. Okay. Trying to remember what all happened in Tavern Talk. Fable hates me right now. Millie's still missing. I can't remember what his name he's going by because he changes his Kumo. Kumo put up a bulletin to have his parents murdered for his personal narrative because his whole thing is that he's emo because his parents are dead. Found out they just abandoned him, which I feel like is already traumatizing enough to keep that edge, but you know, he wants them dead. So Jade here was hired to kill them. I shouldn't quotate hired. They were hired. But we convinced them to instead not kill parents, but maybe kind of help them patch things up and or either have them leave so that he doesn't have to be around them. Which, valid, I wouldn't want to be around parents that abandoned me, making you think that they died in a fire when you were a child and then went on wild behavior. Anyway, all right. Jade, welcome back. Was your quest successful? When have I ever failed? Okay, you know what? It was a simple question, Jade. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Well, you do look surprisingly unbloodied. Also, hello, Kumo. Kumo? Who's Kumo? That guy. New name, I'm guessing? No. No names here. Never had a name. Don't even know what names are. Oh. Okay. Am I just supposed to go along with that? You're supposed to make me a drink. I mean, that's fair. Then we can talk. Fair enough. What can I get you? I still got plans after this, but Onyx is pretty tired. So give me something that'll get her to keep up with my speed if I let her have a sip. Anything for Onyx, the best of turtles. The only turtle we like on this channel. at the moment. I don't know any other turtles and any other franchises. There's one turtle we don't like, and you know who you are. Morak Bloodshell. You bastard. I'm making a drink. Did I mention that D&D got crazy last night, too? Oh, we're just gonna go with Swift Strike. I am going through it. Very important. My son needs a drink. I was playing as Big and hit Tails with an item, and Tails said, "Big? Really?" Love that. As he should. A drink for Onyx and for you, but mostly Onyx. Not too bad, concerning to see you know me so well. Being a regular does have its perks. So, names? Let's start with the story first. You love those, right? You know it. I'll spare you the details of my journey to Bochum, though I didn't miss the chance to make some extra money along the way. Everyone thought I was the right woman for their jobs. They helped me with the quest, too. Squeezed a good description of the renegade parents out of some red dune merchant who was in a deep dispute with a blue-crowned elephant. I'd love to hear that story, actually. Not my problem. Asking a couple of pointed questions got me to the inn of the deadbeats we're staying at. Problem with people is, can't exactly kill them in broad daylight. With monsters, you'd be thanked for doing so. But with people, you've got to be patient. So I did what anyone would have done in my situation. I posed as a tour guide. And they believed you? Sure did. Iniko was right. Your drinks are great for pulling scams. Happy to hear that, I guess. I offered them a tour of the nearby Wadden Sea and led them to an area I knew was shunned by actual tour guides because of the unpredictable tides. Gave them a spiel about how a battle of the Order of Starlight took place there, yada yada yada. Pretty soon their eyes were glued to some starfish playing in the mud. It was the perfect opportunity to get it over quickly. Obviously, I wasn't going to kill them just then. They needed a chance to run, but I had to scare them first. I raised my spear right up above their heads and was about to go for the warning strike when I heard this zigging sound. I deflected the knife that was flung my way at the last second, and it shattered against the ground. All three of us turned to see this cloaked Echo reaching for another knife. He had his hood pulled up, knives and daggers strapped all over his body. Even the air seemed to go darker around him. Looked like a real shadow bane. I trained under them. Impressive. Those deadbeats thought I was protecting them from him. Should have seen the look of their faces when I said I was there to kill them. I turned back, wanting to refocus on my warning strike, when I was interrupted by a simple stop. It was said in this deep, raspy, incredibly fake voice that sounded like some sort of proper degenerate. Like the two bums thought we were fighting about who'd get to kill them. Their approach to such a situation was to immediately try to bribe us. I told them to shut it. They asked me what I wanted then, and if it wasn't money or words. So I turned to our little Shadowbane and asked what he wanted. But he just stood there quietly. Can't blame him. There's a little scarier than your parents. So you helped him with the decision? Not exactly. I walked over to him and handed him my spear. She said, "This is your choice, make it." It felt like she was passing some of her courage onto me. He stepped forward, my spear in his hand, and took off his hood. I'll spare you the details. They recognized him, of course. Languages had the audacity to act surprised. Surprised is one way to put it. When they talked, they sounded so Like they thought I had died. You could have. They left you. I wanted to say something. Anything. Yell, tell them to get lost, scream at them for what they'd done to me, but all that came out was, why did you leave? Why are you giving me a certain energy all of a sudden? Now my heart hurts. Their silence went for so long. Would have been longer if those tides hadn't come rushing in. You did kind of walk into that one. Kind of. Luckily, I was quick. Got all of us up on some muddy rock that the waves couldn't reach. How long were you up there for? A couple of hours. Left us a lot of time to talk. Did you? Yes, a lot. For example, did you know the primordial flood was caused by the pyre erupting? The pyre? You mean the biggest volcano in all of Asteria? Nestled right in Leviathan's domain? Yeah, apparently it erupted and then collapsed, covered all of the primordial sea in ash, and set off a tsunami. It should not be doing that. No. Do you think powerful magic was afoot? Probably not. What use is a giant tsunami to anyone? Maybe they wanted to be wet? Not touching that one. Not touching that one. Probably not. There are tsunamis and their causes all you and your parents talked about? No. Mostly we talked about the leaving thing. Yeah, if you do play online, the bots in Grand Prix are harder than the players, in my opinion. Also, the speed is always Sonic speed. Okay, so maybe I should pause and build myself up to Sonic speed before I go online. But I only have until the 3rd. When okay. I guess I am playing later tonight. Because again, I can only play in short increments before hands say, I hate you. Curse my broken limbs. They said not a day went by where they didn't regret what they'd done. I asked why they didn't come back then. They didn't have an answer for that. Mom said she was proud of my knife throwing skills, though. I never thought they'd apologize. They owned up to all of it, as awful as it was. I hadn't planned for that. They wanted to make up for everything and be a part of my life. They also said it was up to me and what I wanted. 100%, my dude. What do you want? A family? Is that stupid? No, it's not. So you forgave them? No, not yet. I have to see if they actually mean what they said first. Good. Exactly, good. I can't trust them right now. We don't really know each other anymore. Who knows if we'll get along. But they did say they want to get to know me, and I think I might like that too. They're just so different. It feels like I'm angry at people that don't exist anymore. You should still be careful. They might not have changed. Maybe, but I don't want to assume the worst of them. I don't want to be like that anymore. And I think they're willing to change, to try to at least. Plus, Jade threatened to decapitate them if they ever hurt me again. They'd stand no chance. None. Could I have a drink now too? Sure. Let's trade. Right. A secret? No, a name. I assume Jade didn't know you as Kubo because your parents didn't call you that. Correct. What did they call you then? I'm not. I'll trade you my name. Just give the guy a drink. Your first name? Those are quite precious to Maida, right? Very. See it as a secret to trade for. I'm listening. Ulyssa. Ulyssia. That's a pretty name. Hi, Dal. Welcome in. He didn't kill his parents. I know you didn't miss a whole lot. We're just getting over the story that he did not kill them. He is tentatively allowing them to be a part of his life. But Jade also threatened to decapitate them if they hurt him again. So, I don't respond well to flattery, but thank you. It's definitely better than mine. Yours fits you. Does not. If you say so. So, not Yulissa. What would you like in exchange? Maybe something that'll stop me from choking on my words. In case I have more to do more of this emotional thing. I've definitely got something for that. We need charisma. The boy needs charisma. Here you are, some fluid emotional vulnerability. Tastes a lot better than it sounds. Feels a lot better too. Maybe. I still need to call you something else though if Kumo is out. It is. What have you got for me then? I'm running out of names. Jade, can I? Nope. My name. Fine. How about Dave? You know what? Sure, I'll go with that. Dave it is. I'm proud of you, Dave. For everything you've gone through and for choosing what's right for you. Thank you. I feel like calm down, Dal. Do you need a hug? May have already gotten one from Jade. Speaking of me, I've gotta go. Want to check in with Grace and her goons. See you around, airboy. See you around, Yusa. What about you? Care to linger a little longer? I need some time to think all of this over. Maybe even feel it, too. Is Fable back yet? I think Cheesecake would make for a great distraction right about now. No, I thought maybe you ran into them on your way back. I didn't. So Melly isn't back yet either? No, I'm afraid not. Cool. Great. I guess I'll talk to Carolyn? Your parents? Maybe. He'd rather speak to his parents than Carolyn. Damn. Okay. Do you think they still love me? I don't know. I hope they do. I hope they'll love you well. But I don't know. I do know that other people love you, and that if your parents fail to live up to what you deserve, you won't be loved any less. I'd like to believe that. Sometimes I just think if even my own parents could leave me, anyone can. Don't measure your worth by the actions of the people that hurt you. Nothing good can come from that. I'm very thankful to have met you. Anyway, I'm also part of the night or whatever, so I must go. Farewell. See you soon. Oh shit, that was a short fucking day. One interaction? That's not a good sign, guys. This is not good. This is not good. Chaos Protocol? Why is it called Chaos Protocol? Oh no. Melly! Where's Fable, though? They might just not want to come back to the tavern. Innkeeper surprise. Melly went to the fucking tower. Melly went to the fucking tower. No. No. These fuckers went to that tower and found Melly. Okay. Nice to see that you're back. Is Fable with you? No. Should they be? They were looking for you. They aren't very good detective, then. I'm happy to see you're well, Melly. Everyone was very worried about you. Why? I'm great at taking care of myself. You are a child and there was a flood. You are. But where have you been all this time? Investigating things, obviously, like the flood. My investigations led me to Morla. Or more like they did. Nico, Voy, and Hex, I mean. I followed them to Morla. They were talking about mysteries and puzzles, and I'm trying to solve a mystery, so I couldn't let the opportunity pass me by. You're lucky. People usually pay a lot of money to spend time with me. Why? Because I'm, like, famous? But I didn't go there because of you. I was following clues. Okay. Poor boy. We have an ad break starting in 5 minutes. An update on those. I really need to make a key thing alert just to let people know that the ads are going to be a little bit longer, but less ads during stream. So I stayed outside. My case isn't about a wizard. Not this time. Where's Hex, anyway? You know, doing wizard things. Like arson? That would have been fun. But instead he chose to study. The way he probably said study was almost like he is insulted. He looks so upset right now. I want to give Boy a hug. He immediately wanted to check out the spells we found. Though he seemed pretty disheartened. How come? Not sure. I guess he didn't find what he was looking for. Maybe because the world's greatest treasure was already traveling with him. What would that be? Me. Never mind. This poor man. He's trying so hard. His charisma doesn't work on any of us. He told us to keep an eye out for any time magic razzle-dazzle, but we found nothing. At least you managed to get inside and return safely. Yeah. The way there was easy peasy. We got there thanks to Nico pulling off a shape-shifting trick and pretending to be a merchant. Stole some guy's coat and face and used his reputation to secure us a boat ride to Melora. Said I wanted to meet with a real estate agent from the Magocracy to buy the island. Told them to pick us up in a week or so. By then, we'd be far gone. What happened once you reached the island? I'm quite intrigued. Before we tell you anything, I'd like a drink. Something that goes down like honey and will make my poetry flow like a wild river. Nothing easier than that. We're just sticking with the simple ones. Mainly just because they're faster to make. And I'm lazy. I should pour it into the glass. That might be helpful. Just a little bit. Because he deserves. He's the goodest boy. Think. Some honey for those vocal cords. Enjoy. That's what I'm talking about. Amazing. Can we move on to the story now? You got somewhere to be? Nah, I'm just getting bored. We go to Melora, an island so small it's basically the tower's wild backyard. As I walked between the crystalline roses, I expected to see secret passageways hidden behind every corner. I almost brought you back a rose. Why didn't you? I thought you would like it. I would have. Oh, okay, that's, moving on. He's so easy to tease. The tower itself reached so high, I thought it might be reaching out to kiss the moon itself. It was really tilted. At about a 5-degree angle, I measured it with my paws. The bricks were still wet. I'm sure the tsunami shook its foundation. Who would think the waves would have done us a favor and knocked down the door, but nope. That locked door was the first challenge. Nico's lockpicks broke. Seemed like a skill issue. Broke? Skill issue? Bro, the door ate my lockpicks. Ah, a door mimic. A classic first step in securing your establishment. You talk like you've seen one before. Have you ever tried to open my door when the door's closed? No. If you do, don't use any lockpicks and take care of your fingertips. Fey creature. So, how did you get inside? By charming it. Hex forgot his spellbook and couldn't get the arcane unlock spell to work. And obviously it wouldn't let us in just like that. So I decided to play the Mimic a tune. Yeah, that was amazing, bro. Your fancy tunes are the GOAT. I was nervous. I've never played in front of a Mimic before, so I wasn't sure if their taste in music was. I decided to play something emotional, something that would melt its metaphorical heart. A song of woe. Who would have thought it literally melt? Yeah. I began playing the first tune and the lock started weeping before I reached the chorus. Tears were streaming down its face. And as if they were hot and made of acid, the door melted away. Afterwards, the lock laid in a puddle of wood, sobbing and thanking me for my performance. That's not a very sturdy lock. It just sounds very in touch with its emotions. We stepped over the door's remains and into the tower. It was so much taller and bigger on the inside. Like a pocket dimension. So freaking cool. I see what they did there. Except a tower can't really fit in your pocket. Bet. Oh, the ad started. So gonna take, it's gonna be a minute. So we're just gonna take a little sippy sip. Ugh. So much talking. We do so many talkings in this thing. My goodness. My goodness gracious. What a day. It's only Monday. God. I know after Wednesday things will die down, but you know what? It was still a lot. It's still a lot. We're not gonna have... Oh, I found out from my DM that apparently Katya is not allowed to be in a romance. Not allowed. Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. What do you mean not allowed? They can't tell you what is and is not allowed for your character for romance. Unless that's exactly what you want, then it's a whole different story. The god she follows has a thing for paladins that follow. I don't like that. I don't like that. That's a red flag. I don't like that, Dal. I don't like that at all. Burn it with fire. Burn... I'm calling Vordoon. I'm calling Vordoon. Vordoon's going to go kill this god. I don't care if he's lawful evil. It's still creepy. Lawful evil characters can still be nice in certain degrees. Characters are allowed to be multifaceted. They don't just have to be lawful evil. There are more levels to the just that. Anyway. Oh, this ad break is so long. I did this to myself. I really did it to myself. But honestly, it also makes me talk to you guys more, so that's also a good thing. I don't like it. Although I realize the ads don't affect anything when I transfer this over to YouTube, so everyone's probably like, why? Why are you just stopping in the middle of the game? And it's like, I'm talking to, there's a chat. It's right there. I'm talking to them. Let me talk to them while some of them have to watch ads so I can get revenue. Okay. Siri had a mortal wife who was a paladin, hence he really okay. So it's an emotional connection, and I forgot, I didn't mean to press that button. That was an accident. Ignore that. Yes, that's Melly. She went missing and is not missing anymore, and we're very happy about it. But now Fable is missing, and oh no. Okay, so the story behind it makes it a little better. It's still like, bro, talk to your paladins first before you decide they're not allowed to have romantic relationships. Auto-fave character. You know what? Fair. She's adorable. She's the best. We love her. All right. He didn't... back to the story. We can go back to D&D talk next ad break. Boy, he didn't even listen to my poem about the symbiotic relationship between axe and door. For a long time, we didn't encounter anything. Just a long hallway. No doors, only a bunch of strange paintings. Of course, most hallways can't go on forever. And eventually, we reached a staircase. Unless there's a ferret or fox character. That cat is my favorite character. No ferret or fox as of yet. There's kind of a wolf lady, but not a fox. After what felt like 5.5 minutes. Eternity. Meanwhile, I was outside, investigating the flora and fauna. Everything was very peculiar, like it was all from another world. The colors were different, very blue and almost spectral. And there were a lot of spider webs, or yarn? Not sure which. Suddenly, the ground shook and almost knocked me off my feet. Who could have guessed? There were pressure plates on the stairs. I wasn't paying attention, it was too careless. One wrong step and a pressure plate triggered an explosion and... clonk. A whole staircase began crumbling down into a pit of nothingness. Bit by bit, starting from the bottom. I rushed upwards to safety, away from the weird wizard abyss. I stumbled, and if it hadn't been for Hex, I'd be mush. He grabbed my hand and pulled me up. But he isn't really the strongest, so we almost tumbled down together instead. I figured I couldn't leave them to fail to their pathetic destiny. So I zoomed down to grab Hex by his collar and pulled them both up. Pulled him and Voy Boy back up. Thank you for saving us, Nico. No problem, Voy Boy. Don't get used to it. Didn't you expect a trap like that? After all, a great wizard would want to protect their treasure. I guess we were a little distracted by all the gold hanging off the walls. The staircase ended in a wondrous library that spiraled endlessly higher around the tower's inside walls. We lost Hex at the bottom, the first row of books. A lot of them were drenched. Didn't seem like the tower was waterproof. There was still primordial water dripping from somewhere above. We couldn't make out the ceiling. Tried to reach it, though. I like ferrets. They're like little goobers. And thieves. They're little living noodles that steal your stuff and steal little trinkets. The second story of the spiral staircase library had 3 paths leading away. Each path ended in a door, and 3 doors were closed and marked with runes or paintings or rusty old locks. I got stuck into looking at the library's beautiful murals. Each of them depicted a different story. If a cat and a worm had a baby, it would be a ferret. Yeah. One of them was a mosaic of mirrors. That one was my favorite. Watching Hex look at books was like reading a thriller. Almost every second book was rigged with a trap, but he figured out the pattern quickly. Something, something. Big, do you have ferrets? Because that's amazing. Fibracacci, I don't know. Not anymore? Oh, I'm sorry about that. But you have had a ferret, at least one. Once I was able to pry myself away from the murals, I started looking for spell things. I know Hex was most interested with those, and you help when you can. I didn't. I mostly looked at all the small treasures lying around. The wizard had this real cool staff with a clonker. I'm a gemstone embedded at the top. Imagine the damage I could do with that. But I also found something else that was really cool. Here, take a look. You get me something? Is that a storm in a jar? Is that a storm in a jar? Nico, you got me a storm in a jar? I love it! A weather jar! It shows what the weather is like in another realm. Let me guess, Avalon. I knew you'd get it. I found some spell scrolls. One of them had golden runes on it. Hex liked that one, but he didn't love it, Then, nestled between a few red velvet armchairs, I found a glass case. It had a golden frame and a scroll placed inside, neatly in the middle, and the scroll was floating and all that. I knew Hex was looking for more spells, so I called for him. As soon as I mentioned an oddly floating scroll, he came sprinting upwards, staring at the glass case. He already had another scroll tucked into his coat. Honestly, I was expecting him to be carrying half the library at that point. But I guess that would have been far too heavy for him. Just insulting this poor guy left and right because he's a wizard, so he has no strength modifier. I have no room to speak. My blood hunter has no strength. I'm a dex blood hunter. It's not my fault. Of course, the stupid glass case was also a puzzle. Had no lock, no lid, no nothing. Just glass and a gold frame. But just break the glass. The scroll itself was glowing a promising blue. I suggested we break the glass. So this weekend I went to a farmer's market and someone was selling stickers. I left it at work because I'm debating on getting a cover to cover my work computer with so I can put stickers on the top of it and not worry about it damaging the computer. But one of the stickers I got says, "I am fueled by caffeine and chaos." And I'm like, that's me. I'm fueled by the caffeine and the chaos. I am the chaos. Hex gave me the finest death glare. So he investigated the puzzle himself. While they were doing boring side quests, I made sure to stuff my pockets. Found a jeweled silver paperweight shaped like a bird that'd make for a great blunt weapon. Hex was too scared we'd destroy the scroll by triggering another contraption, so he suggested we look around in the adjacent rooms. The riddle doors. Hex only had to look at them for a mere second before figuring them out. Apparently all those murals and runes were referencing a story hidden somewhere in the library. So he made us search for it. It was tricky. We didn't want to trigger the book's traps after all. It was like the library knew what would tempt us the most. I kept seeing books about forgotten songs, rare instruments, and romantic poetry. And I saw books about burglary and fraud. Even had to tackle you to the ground one time so you wouldn't blow us up. Who could resist a good scheme? It was extra exciting seeing Hex hop up and down the stairs looking for the right books. First password was password, the second password was password past the password, and the third one was passwords past the password's password. You wish, but no. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy to crack. Good for you. The first room was an alchemy lab full of apparatuses that I'd never seen before. Most of the liquids had gone dry, but Hex insisted we take whatever was left along with us anyways. Wouldn't let me taste anything, though. The nerd was more interested in the study hidden behind the second door. Bot. Everyone pause. We gotta kick out a bot. We gotta get rid of this guy. Block. Get out of here. Get out of here. Absolutely not with those shenanigans. He was really determined to crack all that old wizard's mysteries. We helped where we could, but listen, I only have like 3 brain cells. The soundscape of the tower was kind of depressing. Silence broken only by the dripping of water and the creaking of old wood. So I sweetened it with a song. It was very easy to get into the flow with that bomb music, boyo. Thank you. You. Hex didn't find a key to the glass case, but he at least found a blueprint showing how it was built. Maybe he can find out how to open it using that. That'd be nice. He was pretty beaten up about everything, though. Yeah, couldn't find what he was looking for. Not even in the third room? No. That one was a gym. Didn't know wizards worked out. Maybe it was just a distraction from the hidden vault. A hidden vault? Anything good in there? Oh yeah, more than your arms could carry. A bunch of artifacts, most of them probably cursed. Which makes them even cooler. But Innkeeper, you didn't even know the funniest part yet. Enlighten me. The whole time the wizard had a spare key to the tower under the doormat. The oldest habit of all time, and we didn't even think about checking for it. I did, but I wanted them to find it themselves. When they left the tower, I was at the beach with Jade. She had arrived a while ago to pick us up, and I was teaching Onyx new tricks. I'm so confused about this timeline because Jade was helping Dave not kill his parents, but went and picked up... I'm so confused. She helped us heave a lot of loot into her boat. Oh, so she did that on the way, not even realizing that Melly is missing. Okay, that's fair. We couldn't take everything with us, so we decided to head back there again another day. There's one thing that doesn't make sense in this equation, though. That would be... Iniko, Voy, and Hex traveled alone. Well, except for me, they're stowaway. Yet I found a fresh set of footprints by the coast, before Jade ever arrived. Like there was a 5th person on the island. Maybe someone was there just shortly before us. We didn't even notice. Just like we didn't notice Melina. I'm sorry for staying hidden for so long. Don't apologize. I think it just proved your skills as a detective. We've got a lot to learn from you. Aw. What a story. I can't wait to share it with Archie. I'll be on my way now. Gotta check up on Hex and make sure you didn't accidentally take a book mimic home. You coming with, Nico? Sure thing. So long, Innkeep. Goodbye, Innkeeper. Don't miss me too much. I'll try not to. Now it's just you and me, Innkeeper. Indeed. I'm glad you're back. You're making it sound like I was lost or kidnapped. I was just investigating. Without telling anyone? I don't need to tell anyone where I'm going. People care about you, Melly. They get worried if they don't know where you were. If they don't know where you are. Oh. I'm not used to that. But I care about people too, like you. That's good to hear. Oh, the reunion. Melly. Hi, Aura. Hi, Dave. Oh, that name is so outdated. You're back. He got distracted. Perfectly fine. His daughter is here. Not actual daughter, but that's the relationship we've given them, and we all know it. I am. Did you miss me? Did I? I was just very worried. What? You called me Melly. What about it? You've never done that before. I'm sure I have. You even said you'd never call me Melly. I'm just glad you're back. Welcome back to my tavern, Dave. That's a cute one. Yeah, I got it. On my last quest. Dave, you made a good choice. I also went on a quest. Well, at first I wanted to find the moon swamps. You know, the mysterious magical swamps that is said to be magically hidden and only appears in froggy but starry nights. I heard there's somewhere in the moon swamp near the portal to the Twilight Chasm. Did you find anything? No, I did find some weird way markers made of bones that seemed to lead somewhere. They had "Do Not Touch" written on them, and the paint seemed fresh. So it looked like the perfect clue. But then suddenly, there were just gallons of water everywhere. Luckily, I got away quick, and since I was already there, as Fasoa's best detective, it was my duty to discover the flood's origins. Well, at first, I was more of a stowaway than a detective, and I also couldn't figure out what... Don't storm off like that ever again, you understand? I was so worried, and no one knew anything about your whereabouts. Now. Oh, you made her cry. Oh, apologize right now, Dave. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you like that. It's just, I haven't cared about anyone in so long. And with you and Fable both suddenly gone, I didn't know what to do. I thought you didn't care. After you went away, even though I asked you to be more careful, I thought maybe you didn't want to be my trusty assistant after all. So I went to investigate alone. I'm sorry for leaving. It's all right. I'm used to people leaving and not coming back. I do care, Melly. I'm just kind of new to this whole honesty thing. I have played the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, and it is amazing. I'm kind of new to this whole empathy thing. Yeah, I figured. If you'd like, I could fix you a drink to help you find your words again. Don't know if I'm up for trading another secret in exchange. It's on me today. You've got enough to worry about. So let me see what I can do for you. I give him his favorite. He get his favorite. Because he got his girl back, but his potential partner is still missing. Fable. Enjoy your magical liquid elegance. Doesn't taste half bad. This might actually help. So, your quest. Jade said you were stranded on Morla? Yep, I followed 3 very suspicious-looking fellows and somehow ended up on that island. Why do I always run into wizards and magic when I'm out on adventures? And traps. Magical traps everywhere. Sounds very dangerous. A detective's always seeking thrills. I'll make sure to be careful, I promise. It's not about that. I know you know how to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you wouldn't have solved the T-Rex case. Heh. But don't keep putting your own life at risk in exchange for a quick adventure. Luckily, nothing major happened this time. This all could have ended very differently. I know. All I'm saying is, don't disappear again. Please. You're not alone anymore. You don't have to do everything all by yourself. Like, you're one to talk. Even though they're guilty themselves, both of you are, but you two have also made a lot of progress already. And I'm glad both of you made it back safely. Heard anything from Fable yet? No, not yet. What about Carolyn? She came back after the flood. Currently, she's investigating some undead sightings in the Pale Woods. Do you know when she'll be back? No, but the two of you can wait here for her if you want. Yes, please. I want to stay until Carolyn gets back. All right, I'll keep you company. How about I spice you up your wait with another drink? I'll pass. Oh, but I'd like one, please. Of course. Do you want anything specific? That whole adventure was pretty exhausting. Maybe something to combat my mental tiredness. Nothing easier than that. All right, let's give her some brain food. Brain food. Boop. Let's see if this will wake you up again. Oh, thank you. This is delicious. I can feel my synapses connecting. You know, now that I've had some time to think about it, I think I figured out why Hex was so bummed about the loot. Care to share your insight with us? But of course. He has a younger sister, right? Which always struck me as odd. She looks so much older than him. So what if she just ages faster than he does? Damn, she's good. And he expected to find something special, find some very special loot in the wizard's tower, but he didn't find it. So what if he was looking for some way to extend her life? Like a scroll of immortality. What a foolish idea. Hey, not you, Hex. Even if it's tempting, those are powers that no one should interfere with. I agree. What if she turns into a zombie? I've had enough of them. Definitely. We should tell him when we see him again. Or maybe we should tell Carolyn when she returns. She seems to be experienced with dealing with the undead. You think it'll be a long time before she gets back? I don't know. Could be very soon, but it could also be a few more days. You've had a long day. Aren't you tired, Millie? No. I'm not tired. At all. Let's wait for a little bit longer. Maybe she'll show up and Fable with her. Sounds good. Did she fall asleep? Yeah. Maybe I should bring her home and wrap this up tonight. That's a good idea. You should get some rest as well. I'll let you know if I hear anything about Carolyn or Fable. All right. There's not much for me to do otherwise. Except care for Melly. She needs you. Yeah, I think you might be right. Good night, Dave. You know, forget about it. See ya. $100, damn. All right, that's another day down the drain. "21 Disaster Tea and Revelations." I like some tea. I like tea. Castle Crashers. Never heard of it. Our best himbo is back. Hooray! Welcome back. It's good to see you both again. Hold your enthusiasm, innkeeper. We bring tales of disaster. I don't mind a little disaster in my tales. After all, you tell them so well. She really does. As do you, Clay. Thank you. I hope my stories are as good as your drinks. They are to me. Speaking of which, can I offer you a drink in exchange for a little insight into your disasters? That'd be great. Something that feels strong and magic-y, right? You remembered. Yes, that one, please. Coming right up. Strong and magic-y. Boom. I just spilled water on myself. Don't mind me. Something tasty and strong, but hopefully not disastrous. Very tasty and strong. You really got the best drinks around. Side scroller beat 'em up. Play it so much because it's of a new DLC that lets you make it download custom characters. Ooh, fun. Happy to hear that, Clay. Tia, you're bursting at the seams. How were the archives? Fun. Were they? Mayhaps. The bleak stalkers were bleak? Cute. Cute? Very. Jade told us where to find the entrance to the archives. But when we got there, we found it surrounded by bleak stalkers. They were quite numerous. And so shaped. I asked them if they could let us through. And I thought he might need some help with that. So I called on our honey flowers and I extended my divine light to him. Oh, wow. 13-year-old game. Nice. It made him glow softly, and they all flocked to him like moths to a gentle flame. Did you know that they have velvet wings they can fold onto their bodies? I didn't. That's fascinating. They were so cuddly and showed off their crawling skills in exchange for carrots. I asked them if they'd like to be our tour guides, and they were so excited. They'd never been tour guides before, and at first, they thought it'd involve eating people. I might have acted a bit standoffish when trying to correct their misconception. Clay was able to convey the message much better. He's very good at explaining things. He really understands people, and that helps him meet them where they're at. I try to. Everyone has their own way of understanding things. I think that's beautiful. I envy your empathetic approach to life, Clay. Thank you. But you've got your own strengths, like how you're a master of strategy or how you're so good at making people feel safe. I love them. I suppose we make a great team. The best, I might say. We made a great team with the Bleak Stalkers, too. They led us right inside the archives, which were huge. Large parts of the Everbloom had collapsed, but even the explorable sections were unbearably spacious. We had no time for a proper tour, unfortunately. We had to make it back in time for the barbecue, after all. That means we had to be efficient during our search. Though we did take a break to admire the artist's hall the creatures excitedly led us to. We found abandoned pottery equipment that distracted us a little too much. Using more time that was perhaps appropriate, we molded tiny versions of the little critters, as a gift to them. They loved them. Afterwards, we split up, to cover more ground. Each of us was guided by a group of bleak stalkers. A dangerous choice. That's when the monsters get you. That's what Clay said, so I enchanted the friendship bracelets. That way, they would always sense in which direction the other person was located. Their friendship bracelets are bonded. Their friendship bracelets are bonded together. I just realized there's a little whale. There's a little whale on their friendship bracelets. That's so cute. So neither of us would get lost. It was so smart. It was very useful. I see you kept yours on. I did. They really helped with navigating around the archives, too. It's a beautiful place, you know. I mean, everything's overgrown with vines or withered and full of termites, but we could still tell how much care had gone into building it. Some of the tree branches still had leaves on them. And I saw a couple stubborn lotus daisies trying to break through around the rocks. I taught the bleak stalkers how to water them. They loved drinking out of the water can, but they also enjoyed sharing their water with the lotus daisies. Hopefully they'll grow stronger again soon. What a shame all that effort that went into building the archives was for nothing. But it wasn't. It meant something to someone once. And I could still feel that love in it, even during our visit. Maybe it'll even bloom again. It's called the Everbloom, right? Like forever? I wonder who named it. We should go back sometime and see if we can find any information about the archivists. I bet they knew some great drinking games. Perhaps we should honor their contributions by studying the knowledge they left behind. Why not both? They should be people first, simple second. Oh, yes. I guess both would work too. Good idea, Clay. I love them. What else did you find in the archives besides friends and the beauty and horrors of time? I got a little distracted when I asked our new friend to point me towards the cooking section. It was so vast. I found so many new bread recipes I can't wait to try out. I also found something for you. For me? Yes, a recipe from a book on mixology. First, I thought about taking the whole thing along, but it was a giant tome and bleak stalkers were so attached to it. So I ripped out the page and took the most interesting. We thought it would fit your repertoire. I think it does. Last Whisper. Ooh, that's a fun name. Thank you very much. As for me, I asked for them to lead me towards dangerous knowledge and soon found myself in a hidden study. The bleak stalkers didn't want to go inside, like they were scared of its contents. So I rewarded them with some treats and ventured inside alone. It was a complete mess, full of scripture, scrolls, and written ramblings that would be forbidden these days. A little exciting. And worrying. The papers I was able to translate spoke of the apocalypse, of the end of it all. There was research on the roots of the aether tree and how to unbind them, written with shaking hands in fading ink. Was this more the scholarly or mad scientist type of research? Hard to tell, the lines tend to blur with blasphemy. Do you know a lot about the aether tree? Because Tia gave me a whole presentation about it. I wouldn't mind a refresher. It's a giant tree. Good start. A world tree, that means our world rests on it. In it, around it, somewhere? In it, mostly. Depends on who you ask. The dragons guard the tree because they created it? Maybe, but definitely because they care for us. And since we live in it, it should keep existing as it does now, because no one wants their house to crumble. A lot of people would get hurt if something happened to everyone's home. That's true, but luckily for us, damaging the aether tree isn't possible. It's larger than we could ever imagine. To us, it's really more of a concept than a tree. And the dragons defend it. Despite their oath of neutrality, there's no easy foes. There is one way. The sigils of Alcahest. The what now? The sigils of Alcahest. They're the key to destroying the aether tree, according to the scrolls I studied under the archivist's candlelight. Are they some sort of spell? Oh, ad break in a few minutes. More of a manual to a self-fulfilling prophecy, a way of breaking the cosmos in accordance to its own rules. For the tree to crumble, its foundation must be fractured. The 5 sigils of Alcahest represent the 5 dragons, each of which must be damaged to topple the world's balance. Only then can our cosmos reshape itself. The scroll spoke of experiments of creating a sigil, unsuccessful experiments. That's reassuring. Not quite. There were only unsuccessful back then. Next to the notes of old, I found others, written on cleaner, newer parchment with unfaded ink. Much of it was incomprehensible, written in languages I'd never seen before. But various sketches of whales caught my eye, as did altered frostbite scrolls. That sounds unsettlingly familiar. I fear that the starfall broke a sigil. By ripping holes into Cassiopeia's wings, it destabilized her flight. If she's damaged any further, time could be sent into disarray. Meanwhile, the tsunami, like I heard, didn't just plague the archives. The waves broke down the barriers between the primordial sea and the twilight chasm in ways never seen before. So that broke 2 sigils? That's not good. What an incredible understatement. What do you want me to say? To witness one such sigil fracture would be anxiety-inducing enough. Knowing it has happened to 2 will keep me up for many nights. It's not 2, it's 3. 3? Alongside the note, I found an old map with fresh markings. All the names were outdated, but the intention was clear. Marked were the 5 interplanar portals. 30 years ago, their sudden appearance tore fissures into Gaia. I believe they were the first sigil. Bad, right? Very. Who could have done this? I don't know. And why, of all things? If the Aether Tree collapsed, or even shifted from its perfect balance, the destruction would end us all. Who would want that? His skull rattled. Sorry, I thought that was funny. They might have a good reason for it. Maybe we can talk to them about it. I doubt it. Me too. Whoever it may be that's causing this, they only have 2 sigils left. Would be quite bad, right? Don't they say that waking the Elder Dragon will start the apocalypse? They do. I feel like there's too many ways to start the apocalypse. Clay, you are right. 100% there are way too many ways to start the apocalypse. Maybe they're all connected, and waking will break the last sigil. Although, I'd like to think breaking all the sigils is indeed impossible. Because it's impossible to reach Tuat in the spirit realm, correct? It's not exactly impossible. One can make it to the spirit dragon via the astral sea at the dawn of the dying moon. That's in 5 days, right? Yes, but worry not. To reach such a specific location within the astral realm, very specific rituals are necessary, and Gaia's portal to Cassiopeia is indispensable. Said portal is located in and safely protected by the Aperture, the stronghold of the Order of Starlight, and its rituals must be performed in outstanding accuracy to withstand the treacherous astral currents. Only the highest-ranking members of the Order are privy to this knowledge, and I guarantee you all of us would rather die than aid the destruction of this world. If the rest of them are half as stubborn as you are, I think we're well protected. Exactly. That's good then. And then the rest is worse. What's bad is that we don't know who's behind this, or why, by the dragons in the endless horizon, anyone would desire something so vile. I can already sense your next question. But can I offer you a drink first? Your throat must be dry after all that exposition. Mine is. I wouldn't say no to a drink. Perhaps something that'll keep my mind intact, defended from lunacy? I feel like I'm going mad. Say no more. I want to look at the new... Last Whisper. The Last Whisper stealths itself into your heart. It provides a boost of strength and speed and has a tough but somewhat bitter aftertaste that will awaken your senses. Sometimes all you need is the right balance between elegance and brute force and the correct translation of an ancient recipe. Nice. All right. We need knowledge. Bleh. What's better than a combination of knowledge and charisma? Here you go, Andu. He's a little pat. A pat the boy. Sparkle eyes. We love him. How about this delicious distraction? It could have worked. If it were actually delicious. Okay, ouch. Still, even a shock can count as a breather, I suppose. You know what else would make for a great breather? Fable's barbecue? Exactly. You're right. That would be quite pleasant right now. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think the barbecue is happening today. Fable hasn't returned from their quest yet. Oh. What quest are they on? Finding Melina. But we just saw Melly on the way here. Perhaps they found another quest while out. Heroism can be infectious like that. Innkeep, what kind of drink did you mix them? None. Maybe we should go look for them. Maybe so. Please do. No one has seen them in days. Oh, thank you for the hydrate mini. And the last things I said to them, I'd hate for those words to stay the last. Please help me find them. Of course, I'm sure they could slay any monsters without us, but some extra hands couldn't hurt. But you'll have to deliver your apologies yourself. I'll slay that beast when it comes to it. Very well. But first we must solve our urgent sigil problem. I feel like we're missing one piece. Oh! Kyle! It's been so long! Our poor memory-faded vampire. I'd like to order my usual cake, innkeeper. I don't serve cake. Never mind. Oh, maybe you should. Another delicious delicacy would be also still no blood. Aww. The sorrow I'm feeling almost equals the grief I feel at the vampire glitter competition of 1398. Oh? I had run out of glitter. I could serve you one of my usual drinks to alleviate some of that heartache. That would be splendid. I'd like something to enhance my immortal strength. No shopping bag shall hold me back today. I'll see what I can do. This boy. Oh, very funny. Very, very funny. Here, with all the strength of a raging fire. Thank you, dear innkeeper. My blood is boiling with euphoria. Any particular reason for your shopping trip? A very peculiar one indeed, dear innkeeper. It is a matter of life and death. I must head out to purchase this wondrous substance known as comfort food immediately. Do you know what comfort food is? I haven't the slightest idea. But it is rumored to restore your mortals back to full health. I am afraid Rhea will perish should she not receive it. That sounds serious. Has she fallen ill? A fatal case of the... something she called being in the zone. I assume it's highly dangerous. She refused to move away from her drawing board for over a year now. It's not been a year. It has not been a year. She even threw me out of the room upstairs when I offered her a blood pellet snack. How will her body handle another year without food? I have some good news from you. Rhea hasn't been sketching for a year. You guys checked in yesterday. How fortunate. And as for your legendary item, you should ask her about it. Generally, everyone has a different idea of what they consider comfort food. How wondrous. Though something tells me you should give her some time before you go back upstairs to ask. Why? Call it intuition. I don't think intuition is a very good name, Innkeeper. Want to help me find a better one? Of course, I'll think of one before the next 8 years are up. Thank you. I shall remain for a while. And once I have acquired the correct comfort food, I will make sure my friend eats every last bite. Like a vampiric mother hen to her vampiric chick. I didn't know there were vampiric chickens. There aren't. Do you know that for certain? Yes. I could have sworn that ones of my family estate had fangs. Chickens can't develop teeth. And here I thought we were comrades in blood hunger. Chickens are still very fascinating all on their own, and bloodthirsty if they're angry. Did you know that they have very colorful dreams? Oh, that's nice. I once helped a wild hen with her dream journal. I'll introduce you to sometime. My favorite thing about chickens is that they purr when they're happy. They do what now? Chickens purr? I don't believe this. I guess they do in this world. Chickens never forgot they were dinosaurs. What charming creatures. The more I learn, the more they remind me of vampires. So simple, sweet, and ferocious, yet their origin harbors one of the greatest mysteries of life. What came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg. I hate this question. Because, honestly, if we're going evolution standards, it would probably be... Because it would have to evolve to become a chicken, and the evolution process usually comes within the birthing and or creation process. So, yeah, egg. Not going to weigh in? I am intellectually withdrawing myself from this conversation. I'm using that sometime. But unlike this unsolved mystery, I do know how vampires were created. Huh? Would you mind elaborating? Weren't you intellectually withdrawing? As a cleric of Cassiopeia, humility is a lifelong objective that I strive towards. As such, I must admit when I do concede words spoken in haste. Which would be now, I suppose. Please, Kyle, if you wouldn't mind expanding on what you just said. Certainly. It must have been over 5 centuries ago when a scholar stole some of the immortal blood of the dragons. The scholar offered it to the Queen Annabeth, who would become the vampire's monarch. I have never heard of Queen Annabeth. I think that was just the plot of a really challenging board game, Kyle. Oh, you're right. So then, Mike was real after all? Mike? Yes, it's all coming back to me now. The first vampire that walked this world was the infamous Mikhail. But most of us call him Mike. He had a very close connection to the spirit dragon of his domain. Eventually, Mike struck a deal with Tuat. In exchange for guarding the dragon's realm, he could get to live forever. But that didn't work out, I guess? Old Mike didn't read the fine print. The spirit dragon turned him to be a trickster. The vampire's name is Kyle. Yes, we love Kyle. Giggles, we love Kyle. He is like a senile old man in a vampire body, and we love him for it. Tuat turned him into a new form of undead creature, invulnerable to age and disease, but still weak to the blade. Blood was the only thing he could stomach to consume, and with time, even sunlight became intolerable. Mike was no longer welcome among the living, but the dead didn't want him either. And that's how the first vampire was created. Fascinating. There's so little known about the spirit dragon and his realm. Kyle, just how do you possess knowledge that's considered ancient by today's standards? What knowledge? The knowledge that you just told us about. Ah, I stumbled upon it in a grimoire I bought the other day at the local bookstore. Nope, that was the vampiric romance book Lynn recommended you. Try again. I'm here for Kyle. We just finished our annual Twilight on tonight, so it's fitting. Amazing. But of course. Dear Evelyn was such a history fanatic. How could I not pick up on a few stories? That was one of her favorites. I still dream of her deathly beautiful countenance as she narrated tales until intruders stopped screaming. She always told the story of our progenitor Mike so softly. She would cradle a vial of his blood, and her tone would turn so reverent. A secret to share just with me, she would say. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to break the last oath between us as well. She broke up with you. You are divorced. It's fine now. I'm sure we can keep this a little secret, right? A secret between new friends. If secrecy is how we can repay you for sharing this with us, then so be it. Since you seem to have been very close to her, I wanted to let you know. We traveled past Marrow Castle on our way back. It looked awfully damaged. The destruction looked so fresh, if only we had passed by earlier. Clay even spotted a heavily armored silhouette a short distance away from what remained of the castle walls. We hurried over to it quickly as possible, but the shadow was gone by the time we got there. As it was, only rubble remained. Was my dear Evelyn unharmed? We don't know. The castle looked abandoned, like a ruin. My Evelyn, what horrid fiend could have inflicted such damage? She must have fought back fiercely. May her opponents suffer twice the damage they inflicted upon her. What I wouldn't give to know her safe. I think I need to go ask Rhea about her comfort food. Aw. Let's give him some time to come to terms with what he just learned. More water. I forgot they went on a quest together. Greeting, brave adventurers. What's the noise? Oh, shit. I didn't mean to hit that. That's his spine. Indeed. Oh, are you all right? Worry not, friend. 'Tis but a scratch. So about my drink order. I don't see any scratches on your skeleton Scully. Oh, your drink helped wonderfully. Not a nick in sight on any of my bones. Could have added some glue to the mix. What? Apologies, friend. We might be jumping the crossbow here. Let us recount our tale properly, Dame Carolyn. Don't think there's much to tell, honestly. You look exhausted. Are you wanting some rest, then? No, just wanting a drink. That can be arranged. Something to regain my strength. A good one might net you a story. No pressure, Lynn. Regain strength. Strength regain. Should we have fun and do a different type of strengthy one? We could do cursed coffee. Paired the steaming chalice through your own distortion of reflection, you will find the darkest swirling depths, blanket of all-consuming, a gloom bitter that you might, but really you'll be looking at a strong cup of coffee. That's it. Yeah, why not? What should I add? Yeah, I think those are good. Those are good ones to add, because then I don't have to add any there. Coffee. I just need to add 2 in there. And 2 in there. Haha, cursed coffee. A great drink for a great story. Aren't you lucky? I'd like to think luck has nothing to do with it. Perhaps not. I might have something else to cheer you up. Oh? Mellie's back. Oh. Relieved? Like a great sword's been lifted off my shoulders. Is she all right? Yes, though you might prefer to see for yourself. She and Dave left me their address to give to you. Who? Ah, you know them. Right, got it. Only one person who fits such an uninspired name. They better have apologized to Melly or else. You'll have to find out the details for yourself. Just don't keep them waiting too long. Don't need to tell me that. Fable isn't back then? No. Sure are taking their time. Feel like looking for them yet? No, they're capable. Just my patience is starting to wear thin. You had some to begin with? You're pretty chatty for someone within greatsword distance. Right. Can I interest you in one of my drinks as well, Scully? With an offer like that, my friend, how can I skeleton say no? Perhaps something to enhance my aura. I would like to do the proclamation of this tale proper justice. Then we will do our usual spoken heart. A simple but a good one. My phone's being weird. Why is it popping up things it's not supposed to be popping up about? What are you doing? Calm down. Please enjoy. Oh my. They say manners maketh man, but this drink alone has invigorated me plenty. I can almost feel the warmth of flesh on my bones again. A pleasure to be of service. You seem awfully eager to talk about this. And you're not? Was it not no help in alleviating that accursed boredom? It was eventful, all right, just lacked a sense of accomplishment, I guess. But no use continuing this pity party. Let's start telling the story I know you're itching for. Much obliged. We started by making our way westwards. Through our progress was slow. Any complications? Yes, quite a few. Before embarking on this journey, I was woefully ignorant of the plight of the Phocian farmers. The less than ideal weather conditions. The flood that ruined a lot of crops. And now this pesky undead problem. I was stricken with empathy for their struggle. The least we could have done is offer up our means of transportation for any soul looking for a better life further north. So we switched carriages. 3 times. By the 3rd time we had gotten so far off course, it took us a whole day just to get back on track. On foot. But once our hike was over, we did get to spend a wondrous afternoon with Dame Carolyn's cousin, Lady Danka. That was nice, I guess. Itch. Ah, I hate when I do that. The cousin with the undead snail problem? Did you manage to liven up the garden for her? Sure did. Just had to set out some cabbage to lead them somewhere we wouldn't be damaging any crops. They were vanquished with one less magnificent blessed strike. Truly a sight to behold. It was just some undead snails. No need to have gotten so excited. To match the excitement, Lady Danka served us some positively delightful cups of tea. Better than any accompanying finger sandwich were some new facts that I gleaned from observing the snails. Even lacking souls, they still displayed some pack behavior. They acted like nothing like real animals, of course, but somehow I was struck with empathy for their plight. To unconsciously seek out a manner of instinctual action, despite the lack of anything to grant them a conscious objective, is there a more transparent yearning for purpose than that? My apologies, it appears that they say about old age is true. You can't help but philosophize. More water is needed. And you couldn't help but relate? In a way. One can't help but wonder whether any choice I make is truly my own or just a post-mortem reflex of these old bones. Perhaps even my thirst for knowledge. And yet your enjoyment of it seems genuine. Truly, innkeeper, you have a way with words. Just lots of experience. Though that maybe my worries seem rather foolish now. I count myself as quite fortuitous, and despite all of my memory lacks, I can delight in learning it all again. Does it really matter when then... My dyslexia kicked my butt there for a second. Does it really matter then where such an urge come from? Anyhow, my apologies, Dame Carolyn. I completely derailed our epic tale. Allow me to make up for it by continuing post-haste. We departed after the lovely cup of tea and fully headed to the Pale Woods. Lady Dinka provided us with a cart and a trusty steed, a cow with the most lovely temperament. Her name is Listol. Our host has also gifted us this delightful lucky charm, so that no evil would hurt us or Listol on our way. But now that our little adventure is over, we thought we'd give it to you instead. Some extra luck never hurts. Ah! Cute! That's an adorable little fella. Thank you so very much. Glad you like it. I apologize, I derailed again. Where was I? Ah, our journey. I made sure to greet the gentleman that passed us on our way to the woods. What magnificent shadow armor he had wearing. This is the second time we have heard comment of shadow armor. And that's the same shadow armor of people who saw around town. Something about it felt oddly familiar. Perhaps it was only my hope that we would just look just as gallant after our quest. The Stole valiantly took us to the edge of the forest where maliciousness permeated in the very air we breathed. It stunk, real bad. We left Listol there, sparing her the stench. Some seemed like the right thing to do. And forth we ventured. Didn't take long to find what we were looking for. The place was crawling with them, which also explained the smell. For some reason, the miasma didn't seem to bother me much. You don't have a nose. Oh, of course. Anyway, there was a veritable horde before us, an army of undead creatures shambling their way through the forest. One gnawed tree at a time. They were awfully interested in those trees, it's true. At that point, I was ready to start decimating their numbers, and I would have done so if Scully hadn't held me back as I was unsheathing my sword. I was keen to observe them for a moment longer. The undead creatures were displaying similar patterns to those snails. They were just stumbling around senselessly. They seemed to be following a pack leader. Maybe there was a non-violent solution left at hand after all. I convinced Dame Carolyn to hold off on the violence for just a bit longer. I was still working out the best point from which to attack them. Couldn't hurt to try out Scully's idea first. Except it did hurt. Yeah. While Dame Carolyn remained hidden in the shadows of the thicket, I walked up to the leader, another skeleton, making sure I displayed an open and respectful disposition. I suppose they were not open and respectful in the return. Nope. Before I could even react, the skeleton had bit down on Scully's arm. Agony. Without putting too much thought into it, I threw out one of my knives. Sorry, I only realized later that the knife I threw was one that I accidentally taken from here. How will I ever survive? I already said I'm sorry. Andrew's bucket needs to be cleaned up. Keep dreaming. Ouch. Shot down so quickly. If it kept you too safe, then I'm glad you accidentally took it. Thankfully, your drink did its job wonderfully as well. Their teeth were unable to leave even a scratch on me. Dame Carolyn was as fast as the wind as she got me away from the hungry undead. And so our fierce battle began. With ease, Dame Carolyn took out several of them at once. Would have been easier if I hadn't had to carry you. My apologies, I was still mourning the breakdown of communication. But I got back to my feet eventually. Before long, we were both battling off swarms of the undead. They seemed endless. For every undead creature defeated, 2 would take its place, dragging the battle on. If I'd known one thing about fighting, it's that you need to watch your stamina. We wouldn't last forever, but our enemies could. One of them cleaved me in half. It was lucky Dame Carolyn caught my upper body. But I'm fairly certain we mixed up the order of some of my thoracic vertebrae when we put me back together. Still, being held in her arms put me in the perfect position for a strategy meeting. I thought back to how we had dealt with those snails. We felt like I needed to maximize the impact of my blessed strikes and fell them all just one. So we baited them and ran, leading them to a nearby clearing. My separated legs rounded up the ones that didn't fall for the first baiting. And once at the clearing, I reunited with myself, luring them all towards the center. As all the undead creatures gathered around my 2 halves, the sky cleared up. And like a clash of thunder, the sound of Dame Carolyn's descending from the sky, or a tree, was all that could be heard. For a moment, my eye holes were completely blinded by the radiance of the blessed strike. You're exaggerating. I like it. Sounds very heroic. It was. Don't think it counts when what I did was essentially pointless. Did the strike not land? It did. While the strike hit home, I realized most of the creatures would be resurrected again at any point. It's a shame, truly, even though we fought so valiantly. So there's a cleric sitting right next to y'all. She right there. I'm just saying, just go grab, be like, hey, we got some undead we need to destroy. But we did get you something else as well, Innkeeper. Right. Here. The trees looked really chewed on and dead, but the berries seemed like they were thriving. They're the ones Elfie was going on about. Not like they're here to appreciate them now, so I'm guessing you can have them. Ooh, new toner. Just set some aside to make Fable a drink when they're back. Sounds fair. It was very kind of you to bring them back for your friend. Ghostberry. Yeah, it was. I still wonder what all of those undead creatures were doing there. No idea. Hunger? Though it did look like they were going somewhere, seemed to be heading north. Maybe that's where... Maybe they were searching for more trees? The Pale Woods is one of the largest forests in Vasoa. I don't see a reason for them to leave the area before it was barren. Unless they were ordered to. Don't they typically come with a necromancer attached? Oh my, they do, and... You don't suppose the gentleman we encountered outside the woods could have been the very necromancer? I don't think farmers wear armor like that you described. Language. Just realized where they could be heading. True, there aren't many woods around here that compare to the Pale Woods. But that giant root in the capital must look pretty good to some old tree-obsessed undeads. Indeed. Oh. Just to clarify, you believe hordes of undead creatures are marching towards the capital? Well, towards the root would be my guess. I see. They're heading towards Themis to gnaw at the divine roots, as if to... Fell the Aether Tree? Precisely. Not that such an action alone could destroy the whole thing, but it could certainly do some damage. What in the heck are y'all talking about? As I just stated, someone is trying to destroy the Aether Tree. The Starfall, the Primordial Flood, even the interplanar portals, it's all part of a big plot. Was that not clear? No. Oh my, that's awful. And insane if true. Is it working? Unfortunately so. Or do you see stars in the night sky? I mean, there's one. There used to be more. We don't know who's behind it yet either. Ugh, okay. Well, Carolyn, Mr. Scully, and the gentle person you greeted outside of the woods you thought might be a necromancer? He certainly bore the armor of one. Did he seem like he wanted to kill everyone? Not particularly, though it can be hard to tell sometimes. Politeness and the desire for homicide aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. Necromancers resurrect dead things to make undead creatures. Indeed, they do. So, Scully, you were resurrected, right? Do you remember anything about it? Well, I admit, at first I recalled very little from my start of my new life. I mostly stumbled about trying to remember my manners. But my memories, or rather the memories of my body, which I suppose are also my memories, have been getting clearer lately. Let me try to focus my thoughts. I believe I awakened in the archives, in the Everbloom. The Everbloom, did you ever encounter any bleak stalkers? Why, I did indeed. They seemed very hungry for my bones. Such interesting creatures, they remind me of the old intellect wombats. Do those beasts still roam, Fasoa? No. What an intellect wombats. Priorities, Tia. Scully, who woke you up. A gentleman of fine age. I believed he was there to do research? I remember candles held over notes scribbled on paper, ink stains on fingertips. He must have found me near my friend's study. I remember I was looking for her when... After I woke, I simply left. How rude and uninquisitive of me. I should have asked what he was researching. I could have helped. Be glad you did not aid him. We found his notes. Hi, Soren. I love you so much. Thank you so much for the lurk and the 11 months subscribed, bestie. Thank you so much. Be glad you did not aid him. We found his notes. They spoke of the destruction of the universe. Did the guy from the woods remind you of the one in the archives? Now that you mention it. I wasn't conscious enough to recognize faces when I rose, but I knew the armor looked familiar. I think I saw it when I first reopened my eyes. Metaphorically, of course. I no longer have eyelids. A necromancer is behind all this? Is he trying to break the sigils just to get to Tuat, the spirit dragon in the realm of death? Sigils? Are you perchance speaking of the sigils of the Alcahest? My friend was researching them once. I always thought them a wild figment of her imagination. Seems like they're not, unfortunately. Do necromancers usually want to destroy Tuat? No, but they do defy his laws of life and death. Perhaps he craves the access to all the souls the spirit dragon guards. Or he plans to destroy death once and for all with his perversions. But, my dears, to destroy the Tuat, one must find him first. That in of itself would be quite the impossible task, no? Not exactly. The spirit realm is well protected, but there are ways to get to him. Can you kill death? I don't know, but merely attempting it sounds disastrous. Miss Anwar, Mr. Moore, Tuat is the god of death. No matter how insane the necromancer, no one could possess a weapon powerful enough to fight a god. Only weapons made of dragons can harm them. We all know this. You mean like Ur's great axe? A weapon forged of the dragons by the dragons, meant only for their claws. The axe. It could certainly cut through the barrier between the astral sea and the upper world, if not through Tuat himself. Would stealing an axe from a dragon count as a sigil? Alright, y'all lost me again. I talked about this already. Keep up. I'll explain later. It might count as a sigil if it awakens or damages their plane. Should not be awakened under any circumstances, nor should their legendary weapon fall into the hands of a mere mortal. My, this is quite concerning. Alright right there with you. This seems a little too insane of a plot. Even for some big bad evil guy, BBEG. They always seem to be reaching for new heights in their dastardly schemes. If we are correct, this one plans to steal Ur's weapon, break their sigil, and then destroy Tuat. Dragons be with us. What about the undead creatures marching towards the capital? They must be a distraction, a way to keep anyone who would interfere off his back. Quite the dangerous distraction, if you ask me. Those language shouldn't be snacking away at those roots either way, should they? No. And those sigils of alcohol. I love you, Lynn. Zest, you keep talking about, could do what? Destroy the tree? The spirit realm rests above all others in the canopy of our world. If what we believe is to be this monstrous plan succeeds, it will collapse down into the rest of the Aether Tree. Not only would that free all dead souls, it would destroy the tree, our home, our cosmos, and everything below it. It would destroy our world as we know it. Not to mention Tuat might die. I don't think I have to explain to you why death dying would be a bad thing. Once again, can he die? Wouldn't risk it. Though I believe this plot of his has to be limited somewhat, no? Perhaps to the transitional period between the astral moon and the dying moon? Only then could the veil between Cassiopeia and Tuat be thin enough for a ritual of such magnitude to succeed. Wait, what you mean is this can only happen the night between the 35th of Cassiopeia and the 1st of Tuat? So it can only work in 4 days or next year. Precisely. I guess you can't have a ritual without unnecessarily complicated rules. It is common courtesy. Claire, I've been wondering, remember that man we saw on our way back near Marrow Castle? Yes, I do think it might have been the same guy. I do. Strange armor sounds familiar, as does the convenient proximity to destruction. And more so, that blood of the first vampire Kyle spoke of. Part of the ritual of safety to safely traverse the astral sea involves having an associated anchor for your destination. To find Tuat, you need something connected to him, like the blood of a vampire eternally bound to him. Yes, maybe our villain got his hands on it. Perhaps he knows more of Cassiopeia than I anticipated. All this out of context shenanigans is giving me a headache. Innkeep, got another drink to spare to help with all this mess? Something powerful enough to get me through this. Anything for you, Lynn. I also need a powerful drink of water. I'm funny sometimes. Yeah, we're gonna do Sailor's. I feel like Sailor's Courage is a good one in this situation. Yeah? Yeah? We do need Charisma, so we don't want that one. That does not help us in any way, shape, or form. That one could help. Yeah, we'll do the Feather. Because that takes care of those two, and then all we need is the Strength. And then 1 Knowledge. Boom. I put all the strength I have into this drink. Enjoy. I think you just put parts of my sanity back together. Thanks a lot. Anytime. So, this madman, if he can't get the axe, he can't kill the spirit dragon, right? Correct. Great. Let's stop him from getting the axe then. Great idea. I know. Now how do we do that? Well, the first necromancer needs to find... First, the necromancer needs to find it. For that, he'll have to get to Ur's realm. Thanks to the portals, that is entirely within the realm of possibility. One would simply have to journey through one of the portals to the Twilight Chasm. And then enter the endless caves through the Nightmare Realm. Nothing easier than that. Did Melly see some weird new bone waymake? Didn't Melly see some weird new bone waymakers near the Twilight Chasm portal in the Moon Swamps? Could they be there to remind someone, say a necromancer, of the way to the portal? They could. Good. The moon pools are much easier to reach than Boreas. We should catch the necromancer before he ventures into the chasm and most certainly before he gets the axe. Great. Let's beat his... Hold on. I don't like either of these options. What if he's right? The fuck? I have faith in you, but he sounds powerful. How about a backup plan? Hate to say it, but you're not wrong. Thanks for looking out for us. If we don't manage to stop him from getting the weapon, we stand no chance in a fight against him. Even your divine strikes would have no match, Miss Anwar. That is true. We would need an incredibly powerful weapon to match his. Not sure if it's enough, but I do have this sword I got from my Baba. Let me see it. This is remarkable craftsmanship infused with minor divine powers. Incredible, but I'm afraid even this cannot rival the great axe in any capacity. What if it was mixed with dragon fire? What? Do you happen to have such a thing on hand, young lad? No, but I know where we can find some. The ever-burning flame in the highlands of Dragonfire. The one you wanted to see, Tia. I think now might be a good time for that. You're right. Dragonfire merged with Carolyn's blessed sword. It wouldn't be as powerful as the axe, but it might give us a fighting chance. If we had a master craftsman to forge it, that is. Rhea, she's a blacksmith. There's no one better for the job. I'm sure she'd love to forge such a weapon, and I'm sure you can convince her of the importance, Lynn. You got that right. Leave the blacksmith recruiting to me. Very well. I'm sure Master Smith Frostgrip will be delighted for this opportunity. Having her on our side makes me even more confident that we can stop this necromancer's plan. I have the utmost faith in us. And I know the aperture of the astral portal are well protected even if we should fail. Though I don't believe we will. Because I know I'm strong enough to best this battle, and that Clay is as well. And the others too. Yes, the others too. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if the 4 of you will be enough. Don't worry, there's a lot of people we can ask for help. Like you. Like me. Ask away. You collect everything we talk about, right? I try my best. Could you write us up 2 quests for all this? I think we should split our resources so we'll get the backup plan going at the same time. Good idea, young man. Plus, that'll give us an excuse to have your drinks help us. Not that you need an excuse, but I appreciate you following my rituals. I'll see what I can do. I should have something written up first thing in the morning. I trust in you as you trust in us. Deeply? Yes. Deeply, and with the knowledge that together we are stronger. We'll see you in the morning then. Carolyn, come with us. We owe you a few explanations before we make you do any persuasion work for us. You got that right. Let's go. I cannot miss out on more possible details. I shall see you in the morning, and keep... Thank you for all your help. Let's save the world, all right? Let's, Clay. Good luck. All right, we got to write 2 new quests. So. Okay. Like weapon. Those are definitely going together, I think. These undead can't seem to get enough fiber. That one and that one. That could go with that. The enemy aims for the destruction of the Aether Tree. Okay. So definitely these three. The Aether Tree, zombies want to eat it. That one might be better, though. The undead marching towards the capital. Nope, not it. Maybe I had it right the first time. Ugh. Maybe I'm not getting in the wrong. The enemy aims for the destruction of the Aether Tree. He needs the Great Axe of to collapse the spirit realm into the rest of the tree. Only a weapon forged can resist it. Legends. No. I think I'm close, though, for that one. No. Has it, the Great Axe lies somewhere between the subterranean caves. Powerful weapon. No. I don't know. Ah! They all have to go together now, so it's really hard to figure out. Doesn't make them any less dangerous. The capital's running routes. Oh, thank God. I got one of them. The Dead Parade. A horde of undead is approaching the capital. Their insatiable hunger for the local flora leads them to the exposed roots of the Aether Tree, and therefore to the capital of Themis. Since it lies nestled in the safety of the roots, as is a mere distraction. This is a mere distraction so the necromancer can fulfill its true plan. But the undead still must be stopped before they hunger for flesh once more. Okay. The enemy aims for the destruction of the Aether Tree. He needs the Great Axe of to collapse the Spirit Realm into the rest of the tree. Legend has it the Great Axe lies hidden somewhere deep inside the submarine. Is unimaginable. I feel like that one's just... I think I tried that already. Yeah, that's not it. Aims... To reach Tuat, one has to go through a number of overly complicated rituals. Petting animals got you drunk. What would you do? Pet the animals anyway, because I love animals. All right, I'm about to do the... You're a petaholic. Yeah, that's fair. Very impressive if true. Yep, I'm gonna try all of them game. Because at this point, I got nothing. I feel like that one has nothing to do with anything. These three have to do with There we go. The Twilight Chase. World calamity is imminent, but there is one way to save it. The only weapon strong enough to harm Tuat in the Aether Tree is the legendary Great Axe of and the personification of evil wants it desperately. But first, he must make it through the Twilight Chasm, and for that, he needs a portal. Sounds like a good location to stop him, right? Oh, I gotta make 3 quests. Fuck! Alright. Well, there's not a whole lot left, and we know it's not that one. That's the only one about that. Eh. Legends say the first flame Leviathan never bestowed upon mankind still burns in the temple in the highlands. Bring ground to our mother. Only a weapon forged. There we go. Only a weapon forged in Dragonfire could even dream to hold up against the legendary Great Axe of Ur. Luckily, a temple in the highlands houses the ever-burning flame, an ancient gift from the dragons that'll come in handy right about now. And what better sword to reshape with the flame than another gift of the Realm Keepers, an heirloom passed down to Carolyn with heroism scorched into its very essence. Okay. Alright, I think that is the build-up for us getting close to the end of this game. But I'm definitely going to have to end it here. I'm starting to feel it in my throat. It's not good. It's not great. My throat's not happy with me. Twilight Zenus. Oof. Alright, we're going to save the game. Perfect. Alright, we're going to transition back over here. Alrighty. Man, everything has finally started to coalesce together. And we'll probably be finishing this game soon. Dang, that's a crazy thought. I was worried this game was going to be... I mean, there is a DLC, and I did get the DLC, so there is more to play after this, but I might take a little break from it and play some more Sonic Racing Crossworlds, because it's a good... It's a fun racing game. Other news, depending on energy, I might hop in and do another racing stream this week. Again, tentative, because as stated before, I've got count day on Wednesday, and that is I'm going to be exhausted regardless Wednesday. I'm not doing anything Wednesday. I'm going to be working, and then I'm going to bed. That is the plan for Wednesday. Saturday, we will be back to Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden. We definitely got some new information, some dark information. There's a lot of dark themes in that game. I'm loving that game so far. If you enjoy kind of mystery-esque, ghost story-esque, throw in a bit of period piece shenanigans with witchcraft and that type of stuff, highly recommend the game. And then I believe we are not playing D&D on Sunday, so it hasn't been posted yet, but I believe we're not playing, so might play Crossworlds on Sunday instead. I will post on both. Yes. We take breaks sometimes. We're allowed to. You'll be fine. I will explain later. Well, easy way to say it is Leon's going to be doing potentially a few bit of a one-shot, and he needs a week to schedule, and Monk needs a breather, which valid. He's been DMing for almost 50 sessions. That's a lot. So we're going to be doing a one-shot adjacent, because we can never get anything done in a one-shot. We all know this. So possible stream on Sunday of Racing Crossworlds. And then we'll be back to hopefully finishing up Tavern Talk on Monday. And I gotta finish this up because ads are about to start. We are going to... try. I always forget to raid out. I'm bad at this. I'm not good at this, guys. I'm not good at gaming. I'm not good at streaming. I'm not I like to pretend like I know what I'm doing, but I don't. I'm bad at it. Who is online that I can do the thing to? Sleepy streaming with Stardew Valley. Maybe we could pop into the Sleepy stream. Because none of the other stuff I know. I don't know Stardew Valley either, but that's fine. That's fine. We're gonna just do this. And boom. Alrighty. And boom. Oh, it put a space in there. You bugger. One more time. Haha. All right. We're going to raid out. I will see you guys next time. Have a great one.